Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Sangeeta Mehta and you're watching my channel, My English Magazine. Today I explain to you MA English second semester and the paper, first paper, which is on literature, gender, romantics. Second paper, literature, gender, romantics. Definition of the romanticism. Romanticism, romanticism was a literary movement that emphasized individualism and emotion. The Romantic era lasted from the end of the 18th century to the middle of the 19th century, but its effects are still evident throughout modern literature. Romantics works were a reaction to the age of enlightenment and the advancing industrial age, a time in which science and rationalism, ra- rationalization began to take fi- firmer hold in the public consciousness. Romantic literature challenged this new wave of ideas by telling stories rooted in emotion, nature, idealism, and the subjective experiences of common men and women. It's important to note that Romanticism as a literary movement is not the same thing as a literary genre of romance novels. Romanticism may be an influence on today's romance novels, but romance novels do not typically possesses all the elements central to romantic era literature. Also, the term romantic does not refer directly to romantic love. It comes it comes from the medieval French romantic romant, the term for an epic chivalrous guest told in verse. The history of Romanticism. Romanticism literature emerged at a time when the world was undergoing a sea change of thoughts and ideas. The age of enlightenment produced a new breed of philosophers and scientists who challenged long held ideas about how humans thought, lived, and came to be. The Industrial Revolution, quite naturally, was hot on the heels of Enlightenment. The ideas and theories of formed in the later now came to life in excitement, new inventions that changed the way people lived and worked. There is always some degree of nostalgia for the old days when new ways of life come into fashion, and it's this phenomenon that gave birth to romanticism. The movement harkened back to a time when things were simpler and more straightforward. Life and literature depended on the heart and one's more primitive emotions, not science or theory or over religiosity. The Romantic movement began in Germany. John Wolfgang von Goethe's The Sorrows of Young Werther was a seminal early romantic work infused with a sense of nationalism. which became a hallmark of German Romanticism as Romanticism spread throughout Europe and beyond. However, it didn't concern itself with any explicitly nationalist tendencies. English Romanticism began in Great Britain with the emergence of poets like Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor, Coleridge, Lord Byron, and Percy Bysshe Shelley. The 1798 publication of lyrical ballads included works by Wordsworth and Coleridge and launched the English movement during the peak of the English Romantic era in 1810s. The works of Jane Austen took center stage. Dark Romanticism is a subset of Romantic literature that also started in Germany. These works feature elements of the Macbeth, grotesque, or demonic. They are similar to Gothic fiction, but while Gothic works are largely horror centric, the spookier elements of dark romanticism don't overshadow the romantic characteristics. Dark romantic writers include E.T.A. Hoffmann, Edgar Allan Poe, and Nathaniel Hawthorne. American Romanticism generally held the same ideas as English Romanticism: individualism, a rich, emotional, isolated life, the beauty of nature, and moral uprightness. One of the first notable American Romantic works was William Cullen Brann's poem "To a Waterfall" in 1800. 18 other American Romantic authors like Washington Irving, James Fenimore Cooper, and Emily Dickinson followed. The elements of Romanticism. There are 6 elements common to most Romantic works: the common man, the idealization of woman, individuality, isolation, nature, and pathetic fallacy. The common man, woman. Romantic writers felt that the average reader should be able to understand and enjoy their works. This sentiment often extended to the relatability of characters. They created Heathcliff Linton from Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, for example, is a servant Charlotte Bronte Tutler. Protagonist in Jane Eyre is a governess. Virtually all of Jane Austen's heroines were average young ladies, usually looking for love. While romantic characters may have uncommon adventures or exceptional experiences, they are not large than life personalities of towering might or intellect. The idealization of women. The exception to the common woman in Romantic literature was the idealized woman. Romantic writers Thank you guys. Thank you very much.